Hey, sorry about that. I just got out of a good walk. It's pretty cold outside now. It's about 6 o'clock. Thought I'd make an interesting recording, and this will explain why I'm going to work on my goals now. What few I have. One of them is artistic, but I'm glad I've gotten into this research of the of cultures and religions, but really I just want to study on cultures now for people. I'm no longer going to try to force anything on anyone in terms of belief systems. I think in totality, really, religions have caused so much of a problem with people, and in so many ways. I'm no longer going to crack jokes about, oh, you worship planets, or you worship... I just want an end to war, I suppose, is how I'll leave that. And I know the evil one, or the one in our souls, are computers, they are televisions, and really, do we need violence anymore? Can't we use creativity like they did during the Renaissance? If this is indeed the age of Aquarius, we need to stop causing wars. We need to start becoming creative, coming up with concepts that help, not hurt. I mean, let me think of a good concept. I love art. Will I really live to see another day after this year or however long? And heck, most of them are lying about when this World War III crap is going to happen. Most of it's a lie. It's a sham. Would I really bow down to planets? No. If anything, I'd bow down to the entire universe, the cosmos, because if there is one thing that I would worship in this entire reality, it would be absolutely everything. I love, beyond just Earth, everything. So that would be kind of a hard concept to explain to any god or gods or people that were viewed as gods. I merely work on my life as best I can, and this is going to be on my YouTube channel. Again, just an audio recording. But believe me, what these groups are doing in the Middle East is wrong. Most Middle Easterners are not like that. It's not really funny, but in all seriousness, that's what it is. I mean, it is a very small group of them, and if you take the books away from these kids who are being taught it, then they would stop too. It's like saying, well, all these kids are listening to this crappy music, worshiping the devil, they're worshiping evil beings, not just the devil. They are welcoming darkness into their hearts, just as much as I have a bit of an obsession with computers. But we all have obsessions. That doesn't mean we have to push our obsessions on somebody else, or disrespect other people's obsessions. It merely means we have to work together as the human race, find better alternatives to the problems that we face. So if people say, oh, your God is evil, that's another form of control. And I said, Christianity, it was the words that I respected. And I know I made a few jokes about the gods or God, but I wasn't serious at all. I understand that Mars is a thing. I understand that Jupiter is a thing, and the powers they do have are incredible. I mean, you look at the solar winds that happen in Jupiter, you can't negate that. That's like 800 mile per hour winds in that big red spot. Neptune, another big spot, but it's more of ice. Pluto, nobody really cares about Pluto, sadly, anymore. I mean, it's all these little things that... Mercury, I wouldn't even want to get on that planet. Ice cold to extreme heat. The sun, I would never worship the sun. Yeah, I like the fact it feeds our birds and our grass and keeps us alive, but I don't worship it. So while somebody may worship something, doesn't mean that it can necessarily be evil or not. It merely means that's what they like. It's not bad to like something. To worship something like that is leading to danger. And this is why I hate sitting in front of this computer, because for a good while, yeah, I believed I had the 666 mark on my forehead. I did not. And me freaking out about my body becoming a little lighted, maybe I am getting something negative in me. That's why I have to get the hell away from this computer. I need to get back to art, getting back to creativity, get a frickin' job, a better job than I have. I don't really even have a job. So am I proud of that? No. But that doesn't mean I can't move on from it. In a lot of my videos, yes, I seem whiny, I seem complainy, and I don't seem to really care about what's going on. When in reality, I care so much that religions are killing countless people. They are sects within religions that are killing people, not the religions themselves. So I'm not going to negate anyone on what they believe. I'm not going to challenge anyone anymore. I'd rather die in peace knowing that I at least uploaded enough videos to get a bit of a message across behind who is causing the evil, not only groups, but what's in our own hearts. Yes, these kids are stupid for sitting in front of some of these music things. Why don't they go out and create something like more peaceful, but at least like classical music? Who doesn't, and they deep down like classical music? Who doesn't like occasionally looking at a mosque in the Middle East or a really old Victorian house in a city here in America, or looking at some of these incredible monuments? Nobody would deny that looking at the Colosseum or what's left of the Circus Maximus, I don't even know if it's still there, or the Pantheon, would be like, how did they do it? Well, we don't know. That's called human progress. We've kind of reverted to almost monkey-like actions, because clearly we're still acting like animals. But not all of us. A very large percentage of us are actually much larger. There's only like 5 or 10 million. I don't know the exact number. But if you think a total of the evil amount of people, even 20 million is tiny. Even 50 million. There's not anywhere near 50, but if that is the number, that's still tiny. It's basically akin to saying, we shouldn't try looking for these people. We just ignore them for a good while, and eventually they'll go back to their normal ways. And then we bury their books somewhere, or maybe, I don't know, every time in history they get burned, so really you should just hide them somewhere. Knock out the memory when we get smart enough from some guy's brain, and lock it behind 3 or 4 doors and say on the front, there's some evil stuff in here, never look at this crap again. It will make you into barbaric apes. So in reality, yes, I believe that Satan is a thing, but he is not physical. He's merely within ourselves, and if he is physical, he needs to stop screwing with humanity, as well as his little minions that he might have that are also within people's souls. Does that mean that I like him? Heck no, I don't. I hate what he's doing to so many individual groups of people all over the world. And believe me, if they try bringing Shinto into this, the Japanese people, I'm not going to be bringing, any of that concept of, oh, you're going to get it. No, I'm going to say they respect family and respect and dignity among themselves more than almost any other group of people. So trust me, if they get involved, as an American, I can say I am afraid, because Japanese individuals have great honor, and you break honor, it's not a good thing. By the way, more women should be wearing kimonos, and gis are not out of fashion. You just have to take them into a dojo, but that's Eastern information there. There's so many groups of people, like certain countries, that are always being labeled, but really if you go there, a good majority of them don't want the military. It's like America. We don't want military. We just happen to have it. So I believe in love while I am here and while I try to be here among everything and everyone. And yes, I am most certainly a pacifist. I dislike being in front of this computer. I don't like most material things, especially electronic. Why do you think I wanted to go back to the olden days? Because I'm tired of electronics. I stick with my flip phone and a few other things, and I am happy. What was another thing? If you get into Buddhism, so what if they believe there's nothing? If that is really what they believe in and they're reborn, guess what? They come back as something better. Christianity, the concepts behind it are great, but saying between a burning inferno and living forever, both of them sound just get it out of your head. Don't accept it. If we have to be reborn and they're not going to tell us the truth about it, why are they doing this? It's not right. This is why religions are such a danger to people. It's not something that you just flip a coin and say, oh, okay, that's good, that's bad. And that's basically what this concept is. You flip a coin. If it's heads, you die and you go forever in happiness. If it's tails, you're screwed. I think that's ridiculous. Oh, man. My head is just like throbbing because of this. It's ridiculous. I'm going to smile when I say the rest of this. And I understand the concepts behind Christianity. They're good and all. The Old Testament, when I said, I really didn't. I only knew what some of the people in them did. We know that they were at least personas of people, if not people. What they did was atrocious, as was what Muhammad did in a few of his instances. But what we know of his life, he wasn't a bad person. And if you want to say Jesus was born a satanic little baby, I don't believe that. and if that is what's in the Quran, but I just don't believe that. A baby talking at birth, it just sounds ridiculous. I don't care who you are. Unless he really was divine, there is no way you could talk like that as a baby. You cannot do that. That's ridiculous. It's absurd. Anyone who says that is obviously a follower of evil, and they want to make it that way. There are many things in the Quran, though, that are beautiful. Like Muhammad sitting on a, what was it? He would sleep. He was very humble. He wore normal clothes. No one could ever differentiate him between anyone else. He loved all the people he was with. His wife thought he was a great guy, so what if she was a little young? Now, when you get too excessively young, yes, then it gets on the news and people think you're a freak for the rest of your life. But there's so many laws in this world that clearly in other places and in other cultures it's all right. But in my heart, I know it's wrong. But what Muhammad did was not that young. Anyone who says it otherwise, it's whatever. He proved otherwise that it can be done. Many of the laws, though, that are going on are sick, like bestiality, like going like eating what's the sick kind of thing called, scat, or having a guy put his head. It's just disgusting. It's repugnant and it's wrong. But if you have a wife who's quite young and you're young, who cares? I heck, there's a story I have. I'm gonna have to read that. I'm actually gonna upload it because it's my copy, but it's of Ripley's Believe It or Not first edition, the first copy. And there was a story of two kids who were about teenager. They married and were with each other until their 60s or 70s. This was back in the 1600s, so we know it can work. It's based on maturity level, and back in those days, it didn't matter your age. If you were mature, there you go. But too many kids nowadays in their teens aren't mature enough to even become adults, so where's the balance? I could do so many recordings, but it really comes, and this is where I'll bring some history into mind, because I'm done talking about religions. Shinto, Buddhism. I could talk a little bit about the Native Americans and hippies. Hippies say they see something that we don't understand. They talk about heightened beings. Now, are they evil or are they good? Well, I've talked to a few hippies, and they are not evil. Now, they'll say, oh, well, it's good. They're not evil. You look at a hippie, they are not bad people. The hippies who get into LSD and other man-made drugs are evil and might be a little screwed up in the head, but they're not really evil yet. They may become it, like I am in front of my computer. This computer screws with my head. I know it does. Let me think of another one. Yeah, as I was saying, the Native Americans, are all what they doing evil? No, most of them like to go out. They don't care about time. They check the sun when it sets and rises. They like gathering food and things for people. Most of them don't even do that anymore. Most of them have little things here and there. I do not respect the casino Native Americans. They've given into Western, quote-unquote, Western influence, but that eventually they may go back to their old ways, because it does seem like we're heading towards some kind of age where we're going to grow up and start working together. I mean, the Bible is, I can't, I believed for a good while, but peace on earth cannot be attained if you're going to keep the concept of a burning forever. And that's why I think it said, he gave you free will, he did all this, because I think it already happened. I think a good majority of what happened in the New Testament already, or the end portion already happened. It's happened in World War II and 1. So if it happened then, why is it most people didn't speak of these monsters and things? Because they didn't see them. During the Renaissance, were those things really there? I don't know. But we do not want to allow... Yeah, come on. Sorry about that. I don't really remember where I left off. I think I left off on the Native Americans. Yeah, they're not bad people. They prove that. I mean, there's so many cultures that are not bad. It's just the people in their hearts. And my heart, I admit, was screwed up. But I had to get this on YouTube because... part of me does believe we're getting towards that age where a lot of us might be going to the Middle East. So I'd like to have some recordings of, some good things going on. I'm so sick of seeing people complain about, how the world's going and all these things. It's just like, I'm not listening to this crap anymore.